you from Teachable's otherworldly headquarters. This is Livin' Now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Livin' Now. I'm Cheech, and we're keeping our eye on what's happening in the future. Do materials dream? Do materials dream? What if polymers, fungi, even carbon fibers aren't just passive tools, but active partners in creation? A growing group of designers and artists thinks exactly that. They say materials have their own agency, pushing back, evolving, and sometimes even outsmarting their makers. This idea flips the old model of creation on its head. Instead of humans commanding machines and materials, it's more like a negotiation where software, substances, and human intention all shape the outcome together. Take artist Annika Yee, whose living installations blur the line between organism and object, materials that grow and change all on their own. Or architect Rachel Armstrong, who imagines buildings grown from living chemicals where architects guide material rather than control every detail. Even companies like Google are weaving intelligence right into textiles, making fabrics that respond and communicate. The philosophy behind this comes from thinkers like Ian Bogost, who urges us to look at objects sideways, to see materials as more than just stuff, but as beings with their own logic and desires. So, the future of design may not be about harnessing materials, but about listening to them. Music drifts through the air in a quiet, dimly lit gallery in Australia, haunting, rhythmic, and alive. But there are no musicians in sight. Instead, the source is something entirely unexpected. A lab-grown mini-brain made from the cells of late composer Alvin Lucier. The project, called Revivification, brings together artists and scientists who worked with Lucier before his death in 2021. Using donated cells, they grew clusters of neurons, not just to preserve his legacy, but to let it keep creating. As those brain cells fire, they send signals to an array of brass instruments mounted on the walls. The room fills with sound, shaped in real time by the living tissue of a man who's no longer alive. But it doesn't end there. The installation also feeds the sound back into the mini brain, creating a feedback loop where the brain hears itself and potentially begins to change in response. It's a surreal blend of art, neuroscience, and philosophy. Can a brain without a body be creative? Who's really composing? The artist, the brain, or the system itself? One thing's certain, Alvin Lucier found a way to keep playing, not through memory, but through biology, and his music, now part human, part machine, may never stop. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's look to what's next.
Hey, this is Seth coming to you from deep central New York. Last time we checked in with each other, I was just leaving Portland, Oregon. Some things have changed and some things have stayed the same. The transition to the East Coast has been a big one, but despite that, I have been working. I'd love to show you a couple of paintings that I completed this year, and probably some that you're familiar with. I love these two together. On the right is Pray for Love. I did that a year or so ago. Time has gotten away from me for sure. And then over on the right, I have Pray for Death. That's the newer one. I did that one this year. Kind of drippy, gloopy, flamboyant, as is my wont. And I've got this big old philodendron. I actually found this in the garbage back when I was 7 years old. I'm 49. So, yeah, it was obviously not this substantial. But I love it. Yeah, it's like a sibling. I'm an only child, and, you know, it's definitely got some presence. Then real quick over here, I have another piece that I did this year. I started this one in Portland, actually. Some of you may remember some of those components from the last time we chatted. I've been going kind of heavy with spiders this year. This house has so many spiders. They're sweet though. They're just house spiders, and they definitely do a good job of hanging out. Oh, painted edges. Here's a fun necklace that I made. I cast this out of resin. Sort of a one-off. Well, not really a one-off. I did a few of them. They're sort of difficult to wear because they're so pokey. I like it though. They look really hot with a black light shining on them. So all you party folks, take note. And then, yeah, I've got one last piece to show you. Talk about spiders. This one. Lots of spiders here. Yeah, these are all hand sculpted. It's kind of fiddly. And yeah, colored pencil on acrylic on wood, and yeah, well, why don't we cut here and then go take a walk over to my studio. Exciting. Currently heading off to my studio in an undisclosed location. Tune in a minute or 3.
Want to spend a groovy night? Want to see a place that's out of sight? Do a lot of crazy things. Utica Club is where it really swings. Utica Club. Utica Club.
Yeah, my sentiments exactly. This is the first non-home studio that I've ever had. Yeah, it's actually been great. I just moved into it. Yeah, just kind of a good amount of space. Cool East Coast radiator situation. And I've just been working on some casting projects and a little found object situation. Got some flames going with heat gun, which is, you know, apropos, I guess. Spikes and eyeballs. And man, I really kind of messed up with this because I should have kept it all in order. I'm gonna be here forever. Oh, I was looking for that eraser. More flamey dudes. Getting back into some vampire mouths. We'll see more of those later. Big piece in process. And I've been doing a lot of these little dudes. These are cool because they're just colored pencil on painted panels. Really just wishing to make some more accessible pieces. Kind of nice also because they're a sort of stream of consciousness. I really don't do a ton of planning on these, and they're really just kind of good to get out of my own head and just work on something quick and small while I guess push through these situations, which have been kind of ongoing pieces.
I got a cup for my friend today. I got it, and I store my pictures under here. So these are all pictures here. So I got more room for storage under here. And then on top of this, there's my mat cutter, and I cut all my mats and frames up here. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's really cool.
You'll notice there's no television in here.
Yeah.
It's all books and art.
I love that. Yeah, this is such a nicely set up space, you know, really.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
And it's not, it does get messy. This is sort of organized because of the window. You got nice and I had a spring clean. These are all local scenes. This is on Route 26 just south there. And this is an abandoned house, like I said, near Dyke and Herkimer Road.
Okay, yeah.
And it's just it's been abandoned since the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
And then these are just things I bought. This is downtown Syracuse in like 1850.
Yeah, well, this area is full of so much history that it's just really, really
and you
awesome.
can still see it. It hasn't been destroyed like so many cities have just bulldozed over it or expanded too fast. This is a mass transit system made up of roller coasters. Inspired by the elevated trains in Chicago. But it's roller coasters instead of trains. Wouldn't that be an awesome way to go to work?
Oh, that would be really great.
And then this is just a made up place. I mean, if I could design my own city. I was inspired by Little Falls.
And so these are just pen and ink?
Correct. I do them with like ink and like a felt tip pen and then colored pencil to color them in. I mean, this drawing took a couple weeks. I usually can do a drawing like this in a week, but this is bigger. It took like a couple.
Okay.
But that's years and years of practice. If you saw the stuff I did 30 years ago, it was nothing like this.
Well, that's the thing is, you just keep progressing, And
it is amazing. It's all come together now. That as I get older and everything's falling apart, the work is getting better. My eyesight's going. I'm tired all the time. But look at this drawing here. I just kicked out in 4 days. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's a gift. It's just coming out of me.
That's so cool.
This is an abandoned house up in the Thousand Islands.
Okay.
It's been empty for 75 years.
Wow.
It sits on an island. You have to take a boat to get to it.
Okay, yeah.
Now, it's privately owned, so you can't walk the grounds, and there's other houses around it. But that's the view from Lake Ontario, just looking at this wide open, empty mansion on an island.
Is that Wellesley Island?
No, it's Carlton Island, and the guy that built this house was the head salesman at Remington Arms. Actually, Remington typewriter. He died the first night he spent in it.
Wow.
In his sleep, nothing tragic, but it took 2 years to build, and the whole family was there for 4th of July or whatever weekend in 1880, whatever, and the next day they found him dead in his sleep.
Wow.
So he spent one night in that house.
Wow.
He had kids and grandkids, so it was used for a while. But I love roller coasters, so I think that'd be the best way to go to school or work.
Yeah, I love these scenes.
You see, I got Utica Club on the billboard, just an honor to where I live.
Yeah, that's so cool.
I grew up in Lake Erie, so all these other things are names from my hometown. LaSalle's was a department store. Hillcrest was a hotel in my town. So it's like tribute to things that are...
Yeah.
This is a building in my hometown. That train station, that's Toledo, Ohio. Chicago, Illinois train station. These were the stations on the 6th Avenue L in New York City. I just took them out of books and put them all together. This was in New York City.